6:48, it's time now for the morning rush. Fire crews around New Mexico are battling multiple wildfires, one of those being the Paradise Fire north of Quemada Lake in the Gila National Forest. At last check, the Paradise Fire is estimated to be 40 acres. The Piñon, Juniper, and El Caso campgrounds have been evacuated. We will continue to bring you updates on air and online as we learn more.
Meanwhile, fire crews, they are working to contain the campfire that is burning 20 miles north of Ruidoso. At last check, that fire has burned 720 acres and is 4% contained. Evacuations are in place in and around Fort Stanton and Devil's Canyon. Highway 220 in the area is also closed. Now, authorities say that 3 historical buildings at Fort Stanton have already been damaged in the fire.
Fire officials say a wildfire that popped Flume Canyon near Ruidoso is already 60% contained. Yesterday, Ruidoso Mayor Lynn Crawford said the fire is located near the South Fork fire burn scar, but assured residents there is no reason to worry. There is a mandatory closure at Grindstone and Alto Lake so that crews can retrieve water. Ryan.
And rainfall more likely ahead in parts of places like Ruidoso, so burn scar flash flooding, something we'll keep an eye on, as well as in the Las Vegas and more area. Now today, a little bit warmer and drier for most. Most of the storms will be in the mountains. Tomorrow, more widespread showers and storms. Thursday and Friday, warmer and drier. Later Saturday and Sunday, expect more rainfall.
We are hearing from a man who lost his entire family after his younger brother shot and killed them before taking his own life. Albuquerque police say that 35-year-old Andrew Bachmeyer shot and killed his mother Marcia, his father Stephen, and 48-year-old brother Eric. Phil Bachmeyer says that his younger brother Andrew had a master's in classical studies and had graduated from UNM Law School.
Albuquerque police are reminding everyone to take an extra moment to check your back seats after a 1-year-old died in a hot truck over the weekend. APD says a young adult man was in charge of watching his relative's 1-year-old child and forgot the child in his truck for several hours. The investigation is ongoing and the man watching the child has not been charged.
The body of an airman who went missing at Elephant Butte has now been recovered. Kirtland Air Force Base says that the airman was recovered yesterday afternoon and he had been reported missing after an incident at the lake on Saturday evening. As of this morning, the base has not yet named that airman. Ryan.
And New Mexico tornadoes by month. Well, we typically see them this time of the month as well as in June. Since 1950 to 2024, about 205 tornadoes in the month of May. June, next month, 181 tornadoes, again, in New Mexico since 1950. Severe weather, it is severe weather season, and by year, last year we had 11 tornadoes, 19 in 2019. The most tornadoes in a given season, in a given year, was in 1991 with 31 tornadoes. So we'll have to watch out for more severe weather in the short term.
A New Mexico woman is facing charges after police say she slammed into 2 Department of Transportation workers on I-25. New Mexico Department of Transportation worker Michael Sanchez was hit by a car, which then sideswiped his partner. The 20-year-old driver, Misty Dawn Roy Ball, is now facing a 3rd-degree felony for reckless driving.
To combat the shortage of animal care workers in the state, a local high school has now created a program that is aimed at getting students excited about veterinary careers here in New Mexico. Hatch Valley Public Schools created the pre-veterinary program for the juniors and seniors. A working veterinarian will now come to teach the students in a clinical setting.
A century-old World War II veteran was in the spotlight as the New Mexico Department of Veterans Services honored him for his service. Sylvester Cisneros was born on May 26, 1925, making this Memorial Day his 100th birthday. Veterans Services gave him a plaque commemorating his bravery and remembering his friends and fellow soldiers lost to war. Ryan.
And taking a look right now at traffic, it does appear that we have now a car accident near the Big I, so make sure you guys are planning your route safely out there. Light to moderate traffic right now. Otherwise, taking a look at Tracker heading west on I-40 near 6th Street, we do notice pretty good traffic flow for the most part, just getting a little bit busier out there. We'll have more traffic updates throughout the rest of the morning.
An endurance swimmer has now become the first person to circumnavigate Martha's Vineyard. Lewis Pugh completed a 12-day, 62-mile swim around the Massachusetts island. Pugh says that his goal was to raise awareness to the importance of sharks in our ecosystem.
And now it's time for the 5 facts.
At number 5, there is a new program at a local high school aimed at getting students excited about veterinary careers here in New Mexico. Hatch Valley Public Schools created a pre-veterinary program for juniors and seniors. While Hatch Valley High School already had a veterinary science class as part of the new program, a working veterinarian will now come teach students in a clinic setting.
At number 4, Albuquerque Fire Rescue is sharing photos of a recent trail rescue. They responded to an injured hiker on the Elena Gallegos open space around 6 yesterday evening. That hiker had a leg injury and was transported in a wheeled basket.
And at number 3, thunderstorms for most areas in the mountains today in the Rio Grande Valley. Elsewhere to the south, warmer and drier. Severe weather still possible in southeast New Mexico. We'll have to watch out for that. A little bit more widespread tomorrow.
At number 2, a New Mexico woman is facing charges after police say that she slammed into 2 DOT workers on I-25. 2 weeks ago, New Mexico DOT worker Michael Sanchez says that he and a crew were working on a strip of I-25 between Rivera and Bernal when he was hit by the car. The driver then sideswiped his partner. Now, both men are doing okay. State police say that the 20-year-old driver is facing a third-degree felony for reckless driving.
And at number 1, fire crews are battling multiple fires around the state. The Camp Fire burning 20 miles north of Ruidoso. At last check, that fire has burned 720 acres and is 14% contained. Evacuations are in place in around Fort Stanton and Devil's Canyon. Highway 220 is also closed in the Fort Stanton area. Authorities say 3 historical buildings at Fort Stanton have been damaged in that fire. Meanwhile, the Paradise Fire north of Quemado Lake in the Gila National Forest has been burning since about 7 o'clock last night. At last check, the Paradise Fire is estimated to be about 40 acres. Finally, wildfire that popped Flume Canyon near Ruidoso is already 60% contained. There is a mandatory closure at Grindstone and Alto Lake so that crews can retrieve water.